Our story begins on October 25th, 2020, exactly 1 year prior to the release of this video. It was a Sunday night in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, which when combined created a very bored individual. This invoked one of my favorite hobbies, browsing the Steam storefront. I was sitting in call with several of my other friends on Discord who were doing the same, and they came across a game that had released earlier the same year. This game was Walking Simulator 2020. Walking Simulator is a free game on Steam, and is seemingly a clone of the hit AAA title Death Stranding. The Steam page for the game has the following as the game's description, pointing out that the user must carry packages from point A to B in a desolate, apocalypse-stricken world. It is obvious that this game is a clone of Death Stranding. Reading the Steam reviews were even more comedic though, with various reviews describing how buggy, broken, or barren the game was overall. Little more needed to be said to have the few of us immediately install the game. Upon opening the game, you're greeted with that absurdly loud opening, before being shown a simple menu screen, composed of a black topographic map background and the 3 worlds or acts to choose from. The first, Antarctica. The second, Alaska, which is a world full of trees as well as a dog in-game that yes, you can indeed pet. And finally, the last world or act, a store, which, based off the preview for the act alone, can be seen as a play on words of a store. Very creative if you ask me. Also on screen is access to our settings. We're given 3 options, being videos, controls, as well as our audio settings. Upon opening our video settings, we're able to access many controls such as VSync, FPS caps, as well as shadow and texture qualities. Upon opening the control settings, we're able to see our sensitivity, invert our mouse functions, as well as set keybinds for the controls within game. Some we're able to set multiple for. Within the audio settings, we're able to adjust the master, music, and SFX volume. None of these adjust that absurd opening though. Selecting an act, you are presented with an inspirational quote, one of several, before loading into the world. Once you load in, you're presented with your character, and at the top left of your screen, you're shown your current task, as well as your likes, which function as an in-game currency, and they're earned by finishing tasks and delivering packages. As you can see, the world around us is fairly empty, and it remains this way for a majority of the gameplay. Occasionally, throughout the worlds, various enemies can spawn, and they are capable of hitting you and knocking you down, but there's no more than that. You will drop your packages, but there's no death mechanic built into the game. Here inside the hangar, we're shown a various amount of objects that we're able to pick up and transport from point to point, as well as energy drinks that we can purchase with our likes, which give us a 15-second speed boost. Upon pressing the escape key, you're brought to a menu which allows you to resume the game, access the settings, and go back to the main menu. Exiting to the main menu presents that absurdly loud audio, which has been muted for your convenience, and exiting the game takes you straight back to your desktop. After fooling around in-game for a bit, I opened my favorite website only to be greeted by a pleasant surprise. Walking Simulator had its own official category, on speedrun.com. It was a small group of people, but it had quite a few various types of runs, even including some meme categories. It was at this moment that I decided I would set my first speedrunning world record. The category? Walking Simulator DAB %. The time to beat was 50 milliseconds, but I had never been more confident in my life. I quickly installed Live Split to track my times and got to work, and within the first hour, I had set my first ever speedrunning record. And luckily enough, I still have the original clip.
Alright, this is Walking Simulator DAB %. Reset the timer. We were about 120 milliseconds off. We go again. Here we go. Is that it? Hang on. By 90 milliseconds, that is a new world record. Let's get it.
After completing my first speedrun, I was inspired and sought to do more. I practiced speedruns in various other games, from Minecraft to Pokemon to games such as Stardew Valley, but never once did I manage to hit another perfect record. Until now. This is the story of how I became the king of Walking Simulator. Records had already been set, and I had my competition. There were some contenders that I just couldn't challenge. All of the runs, including the Antarctica map, had been perfected in a previous version of the game, with mechanics that are no longer possible, making them impossible to beat. This didn't stop me from beating every other record in the game though. My first set, A-Store, in any %, glitchless %, and anything goes. Despite the many attempts and trial and error, A-Store was eventually conquered, and next was Alaska, and any percent and anything goes. Despite the timing issue mid-run, retiming the video still led to a world record in the any percent and anything goes categories, despite it only being one run. It was time for the final 4 runs. The last 4 runs, arguably some of the most tedious and physically painful. Waiting to get likes and then purchasing as well as drinking a set amount of energy drinks, ranging from 200 to 1600, up to 3200 button mashes for a single run. But little did people know, I discovered a trick. A glitch in the game that allows you to bypass waiting significant periods of time in order to purchase and drink the energy drinks. This bug cut the time in half by a significant amount. Here are the results. So there it is. Throughout this video, you've witnessed me set 10 speedrunning records in a singular game. I was able to claim first place in over 55% of all the speedruns available in Walking Simulator 2020. But I couldn't have done this on my own, so I must give thanks to those who deserve it. I want to thank my friends for helping me with learning how to edit and use audio software. I want to thank the speedrunning community for helping me learn tricks and turning me in the right direction. And I want to thank you guys for unknowingly motivating me to do such an amazing feat. The crown belongs to all of us, not just me, so thank you. Until next time, itsTOGB, signing off.